All right, everyone. This is Davidson da Silva, Davidson GPT. I'm going live. I have no idea if this is working, honestly. I'm using right now a new platform called Riverside, and I tried, and it's super cool. I used to stream from what is it? StreamYard. Now it's Riverside, and technically, I'm supposed to be live right now. I have no idea if this is working, honestly. So let me triple check here. It's 9 a.m. here in Dallas, Texas, Central Time, USA. Technically, I'm supposed to be live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Facebook. So let me just take a look on LinkedIn really fast. Give me a second here. If um, let's see. Okay, all right, perfect. So if you let's take a look here. I think it's working, everyone. Hey, listen, if you are listening to this right now, um, give me a thumbs up. Honestly, I have no idea if this is working. Give me a second. All right, I think it's working. All right, perfect. Let's go. Um, all right. Okay, I think it's working now. So hopefully so. Okay, well, all right, let's go. So if it's working or not, just let me know. I'm Davidson, the Davidson GPT Live. Let me talk a little bit about the evolution of tech sales, not tech sales funnels, the evolution of Davidson GPT. So when I first started this, I wanted to do a live Q&A, ask me anything. I started talking about how to hack into tech sales and the daily life of a tech seller. And that was like about almost like a year ago. It was almost a year ago. I It was when I first started posting daily on LinkedIn about tech sales, and a lot of people had questions, and I had a good time. Now, then I decided to. I realized that a lot of people who are looking for jobs, they usually don't ask questions live. It's just the nature. It is what it is. A lot of people are looking for jobs. People don't know that they're looking for jobs, or they are kind of on stealth mode, and a lot of times they just don't want to be public, right? So I get it, 100%. In fact, I want to take a look if anybody is actually here. So let me double check just a second. Yeah, so there's a couple of people live, and that was my thing, right? So I decided to kind of step back for a little bit, and then I didn't go live for a few weeks, and now I'm back. It's more like a Q&A. If you have questions, you can just drop your questions. I can see here on LinkedIn. If you do not have questions, that's totally fine. I can just talk about different topics. My biggest goal is to be able to answer questions live if you have any, and if you don't, I can just kind of talk about what's top of mind for me when it comes to tech sales, job search, strategies, and almost like I wouldn't say a TV show, like none of that, but it is me live here. I can answer questions about tech sales. I can ask questions about um, being an entrepreneur, going full time and building tech sales funnels, and I can talk about different things. And also, I'm a dad, so I'm a dadpreneur. So it's a crazy life, and but I enjoy and I love it. I love what I do. I love the people that I help. So if anybody, if you don't have questions, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have my phone here open because I can see if you have any questions. If there's no questions, I just want to talk about AI and a little bit more about the new. job search landscape. I I posted something this week that I think was interesting. It's all about. Let me see if I can find here. Let me open. Give me 1 second. I feel like a lot of people are talking about, you know, we all heard about, how AI is going to take jobs. And I get it. I mean, it can be scary. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of unknown. And it's not easy for anyone trying to navigate those waters. We don't really know what's going to happen. Um, but I think there is one thing that we can do is that we can control how we think. We can control um, how we act. We can control the activities. We can just not control everything that's around us, right? So I think with this whole job search in AI, there's one thing. If you forget anything that I'm going to tell today, that is one thing that we can control is our activity and our mindset. Okay, and that's super super important, especially during the job search process. That's one thing you can control. And think about it. Okay, let's say if you are competing with two people in the final round, what's going to differentiate you from those other two people, right? Let's say it's same resume, same qualifications, let's say same college, let's say same company, let's say everything everything in the resume is almost equal, which is almost impossible. Let's just play along with me here. Everything in the resume is equal. What is going to differentiate you from all the other people, right? On that final round, it's your uniqueness, right? It's what makes you you, right? It sounds simple, but it's not simple. And a lot of people forget that they are so unique, that they have such a specific story to tell, that they have such a special background, and and they start worrying too much about the other side. They start worrying too much about the competition. They start worrying too much about the other people who are interviewing for the role. Just focus on the things you can control. So if there's one thing that I can tell you, nobody can replicate you. Nobody, not even parents can replicate you. They try. They, they have a different child which has a completely different uh, personality. And trust me, I have 4 kids. There's no replication on you. You're unique. You have your own fingerprint, right? We talk about that. I like to use that expression. Nothing can replicate your DNA, and you have to lean into that. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like wondering a lot. Now, if the other side decides not to choose you, move on, right? There is no time. I mean, in this day and age here, there's no time to be thinking to be taking too much too personal. There's no time for that. You just have to move on. You just have to carry on. So I personally I am a career coach, so I'm a job search strategist, right? So I personally I don't believe in competition. I actually like talking to the other coaches and interviewing them on my podcast, promoting their service. There's coaches who help people on early stages, mid career, executives. There's all sorts of coaches. There's coaches for specific for women. There's coach specifically for specific industry. So find what works for you. Okay, if Davison does not work for you, find someone else. Follow everyone. Everyone has something special to share. Everyone has something unique. Again, every coach has a different perspective. So basically, in this world of job search, coaches, I would say, I don't know, 60, 70%, 80%, maybe is all the same. Okay. But that's 20%. That's the uniqueness, our personal experience, and our background, our knowledge. That's what makes a difference, right? For that specific person. So also, so I have people coming to me sometimes and say, "Hey, what's different from your program than others coaches programs? I don't have a program, by the way. It's really hard to scale me. That's one of the hardest things of doing what I do is trying to scale me. I just haven't been able to figure that out yet. So it's a very exclusive, high touch, premium, uh, one-on-one. That's what I do, and it's really hard to replicate at this point, and that's what makes the difference. And 100%. So I what I'm trying to say is that so when people ask me that question, I have a hard time answering. I should come up with better answers, but I really have a hard time answering that question. But um, what really makes you unique in my side, it's me, right? So I and then I talk about myself and I talk about how I take care of my clients and how every client become a partner and 100% of my clients get the offers and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes using my personal example, right? So if you get to the final round, if it comes to the question like why you, and then you have to think deep, um not like what makes you uh better than others, but what makes you unique than others. And that's how I would answer that question. And think about like one, two, or three points that makes you super unique, and then kind of lean into that. Now I that's one of the things that I talked about it. But today I really wanted to. I go over the place. Trust me. If you have any questions, let me drop your questions here. If you don't have questions, I'm just gonna keep going. So, and I'm using this new platform. So there's some tips and tricks and things that I can do here as well. But I'm not gonna try because I don't know how it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna stick to the script here. There's no script, by the way, but I'm just gonna stick to the plan. Not touch any buttons here and make sure it's still working. I have some notes here that I made. So one of my goals, one of the things that I want to do here in this live, a weekly, um, how can I call office hours? I would say, or Q&A, or ask me anything, or weekly show, DGPT. One of the things I want to do is to bring insights and information that I see throughout the week. So I am researching things. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm helping people. I'm interviewing people on podcasts. This week I had three interviews, two amazing podcast interviews. So I'm going to do is trying to summarize my thoughts and trying to just drop here, like job openings. Like I saw a job opening the other day. I made a post actually about Microsoft hiring, but there's so many jobs there. There's one. There is one. If you want to work for Microsoft, you should totally uh, go after this specific role. And I posted on LinkedIn yesterday. So I'm gonna share nuggets like that. So I have a there's someone here that is asking a question. Uh, James Gordon. Let's see. But with supply and demand, how do you use tech to cut through the tech that companies are using to screen people? Currently, the I think you try to say something here. Let me understand the question. Okay, so with supply and demand, how do you use tech to cut through the tech that companies are using to screen people? Gosh, I have a hard time today to understand here how to use tech to cut through the tech that companies are using to screen people. So let's just talk about supply and demand. Okay, just because of these AI, like it's much easier for you to apply for tons and tons and tons of jobs, right? You can quickly tweak your resume. You can do cover letters like on a blink of an eye, right? You can now huge demand, huge demand of candidates, and I'm sorry, there's a huge supply of candidates, and the demand it's going up and down depending on what company you're trying to apply for. There's still a huge demand for tech sellers, but what I'm trying to get here is that it's hard on both sides. It's being hard on both sides. I mean, it's easier for you to apply for more jobs, but at the same time, it's harder because there's more people applying. And then on the other side, it's easier for the recruiters to screen resumes, to use AI to cut through the noise. At the same time, they're getting fake stuff. They're getting fake applications. People who are like completely different. They're showing up to interviews. That's what I have heard, and completely different than the resume. And they're showing up to the interviews, and the recruiters are getting like, what just happened here? So I I don't. I'm not a recruiter, so I'm not on the other side. Um, what I teach my clients, I teach principles. I teach foundational job search strategy. I actually don't lean too much on AI tools. I do use AI. I do use, for example, my clients have access to Career Flow, where there's all sorts of AI tools that can help them during the job search. That's the tool that I currently use right now. Now there is, for job search specifically, there is one tool coming up every one, two, three, maybe 100 coming up every single week, and I have no time to track all those AI tools that are coming. The bottom line: people need to know, like, and trust you. Period. That's when it comes to principle. People need to know, like, and trust you. Um, and if a tool that you're using is going to help you to better get to know you, give you better visibility, to make you people like you better and trust you more, then use it. Otherwise, it's just noise. There's a lot of noise, a lot of noise. Um, even one GPT. I only use Chat GPT. Um, right now, I have tried a few. I just trying to stick to the one that I'm still learning how to use. Um, you can totally use that, and that will be enough. When it comes to cutting through this noise, it's been the biggest challenge that I have seen, because there is way too many tools, there's way too many solutions. Is actually causing a problem, because I would call like an overload of AI tools for job search seekers. They're actually getting confused. They end up not using any, or they use one but they use poorly. They don't dive deep into one application, and they end up getting lost. And that's happening left and right. And I see that all the time. And that's one of the reasons why I actually stay away from too much tools. Um, which brings me to a point that I wanted to talk about today. So there's the AI and there's the HI. I focus on the HI, which is human intelligence. Um, and we can talk all day about that. And at the end of the day, you can use AI all day and night to help you find a job. Like, but you're gonna depend on the HI, the human intelligence. And through the human intelligence and the human connection, that's how you're gonna get the offers. Okay, so maybe AI can help you, um, even apply and then get to the interview process. I think that's awesome, and it can even actually help you through the interview process. You um, preparing for interviews, for mock interviews. What else can be used for AI? Research, right? Research, it's key. Definitely be prepared for the interviews and use AI to research. Well, by the end of the day, I mean, even AI robots are actually interviewing you now. But at the end of the day, you have to um, lean into the human interaction, the human decision making process, the human connection. Whoever's going to hire you is going to need to know, like, and trust you, because they're going to be working with you on a daily basis. They're going to be training you. They're going to be give you feedback. They're going to be, want you to develop you. So at the end of the day, AI cannot replace that. So yeah, it's use AI, and I think that's probably the best way to cut through the noise of AI. Is just it's focusing on the HI, the human intelligence, and I would double down there and bet everything that I have on that, and spend more time uh, networking. Thanks for the question, James. That was good. Appreciate it. I don't know if I even answered that question. I just went all over the place, but it's all good. Hey, I made a couple of notes here. Let me see if I can. see on my screen. And I want to go through this if possible. Um, okay, it's going really slow. Okay, here we go. All right, so something that is really interesting that I saw that I read this week, that AI is going to replace millions of jobs, right? But it doesn't have to replace you again. Now, this is coming from Goldman Sachs. 300 million jobs is the prediction that will be lost. 300 million jobs will be lost by in 10 years. 300 million jobs. So, what does that mean to you, your career, and your future, right? So, we everybody is talking about the AI takeover, and I'm gonna be reading some things here, and I'm gonna be talking as well. So I actually I saw that in one of the podcasts and things that I was watching this week by I believe it was Simon Sinek. I love the guy; he's really cool. And Simon Squibby. So actually two Simons together, and they were talking about the whole time. They were talking about you're being lied to about AI real purpose, and I highly recommend you to go and listen to the video. I'm actually gonna I can put a link right here on the I'll put a link later on the on the show here, so you can take a look at it. Yeah, I'll put it later. But it talks about it's really interesting. 300 million jobs will be lost, but new jobs will be created at the same time. So a lot of people about we're humans and we get it. Um, we like to sometimes be even a little bit more dramatic on the negative side. I would say it spreads out quickly and the fear, right? The fear of losing jobs. That's what I'm seeing a lot. The fear, but on the other side, the optimistic side, right, which is a little bit harder to see, is that a lot of jobs also going to be created. Now, um, something that was very very interesting that he mentioned about on this podcast, it was that we can predict the loss, but it's hard to predict what exactly is going to be created, right? What will be made. So we can predict, like, I'll give an example that someone at McDonald's might lose their job for a robot who's going to be flipping the burgers, but it's really hard to predict what kind of jobs will be created, right? We have an idea. Everyone was talking about when this whole AI revolution started, like, oh, it can be a prompt engineer, right? Which is still a thing, but it's kind of fading away automatically just because it's so much easier now. The machine itself is becoming more and more productive in creating prompts, and you can kind of create prompts yourself, and it there is all sorts of you know resources already available that actually is kind of slowly fading away, that idea. So it's really hard to predict what actually is going to come. So what we can predict is that you we should totally be learning um, as much as we can about AI, right? Um, and then when it comes to the job search, you should definitely be uh, leveraging that to your own benefit. But it's really hard to know what exactly is going to come when it comes to, I would say, the new jobs. It's like people can always predict, but it's really we have to lean into the things we can control. So I think I think the knowledge jobs, like, you know and we all know, like, the industries that are at risk: banking, accounting, admin works, all the kind of stuff. They're at risk. A lot of the old school jobs, they're actually not even worrying about it. Like plumbers, for example, they're not worrying too much about AI. They can use it to optimize their bookings and you know to find clients and all that. But plumbing is plumbing, right? Um, they're not worrying too much. So there's industries and places in the industry that are more concerned about AI than others, right? But I want to stay focused to tech sales. Um, when it comes to tech sales, at the end of the day, um, the demand for tech sellers is still there. Like, um, there is more and more AI organizations being created, and they need more and more and more sellers to be on the front and to deliver that solution to human beings. Now, most of the process, yes, is being optimized, um, but at the end of the day, humans they're going to continue to buy from humans, especially when it comes to software and the implementation of the software and the change management, uh, the support, everything. Right? It's you still need people to answer at the end of the day. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about here. Let me. One of the biggest things is that that's gonna differentiate. Also, is gonna help us to navigate through this. It's the our relationships, right? That we're building through this phase and our resilience as well. So, yes, you can fear, but at the same time, as you're building those relationships, as you're networking, as you're considering new opportunities and finding new options, then you, at the end of the day, you can be validated and you're going to be able to find your way through this, to the noise. Let me step back here for a second. I need to let me see if there's any questions here. Today I plan to only talk about for 30 minutes. So we're gonna get coming to a close here. Um and I was just testing this new platform. Hopefully it's working. But what I want to do, I want to make sure that moving forward, I want to bring very specific topics that I'm seeing and observations, so I can make observations here and take your questions. And I'm actually taking this instead of doing live here. I'm taking to inside of the community that I announced last week that we're going to be building. So there's a GPT again. It's going to be moving to inside of the community, and that's one of the things that I want to do moving forward. That way, it's going to be more uh, specific to tech sellers. It's going to be more like an underground kind of environment where you can be, ask a question safely, and I'll be able to help you. Um, but for today, I'm just gonna close in about 2 minutes. I I'm super excited for this time. Honestly, AI doesn't scare me at all. I love using the tools and the app, trying new things. I try to not use too many. Um, I try to focus on the things that I can control, and I hope you can do the same. I really like the idea of leveraging AI to to do job search and to be more productive. So I'm all about that. So send me your questions, send me your DMs. I will be more than happy to answer them. Today I have a workshop where I what I do in my workshop. I actually dive deep into people's specific cases, and it's more like on hands strategy. And I'll be more than happy to help you. Just check my profile, how to join, and I'll see you inside. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good Friday. Bye bye.